Another
Great.
person that mishandled classified information.
Yes, she did.
Incredible.
This man is charging Trump with crimes. We should find out about it.
Good afternoon. Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with felony violations of our national security laws, as well as participating in a conspiracy to obstruct justice.
Conspiracy.
This indictment was voted by a grand jury of citizens in the Southern District of Florida, and I invite everyone to read it in full to understand the scope and the gravity of the crimes charged. The men and women of the United States intelligence community and our armed forces dedicate their lives to protecting our nation and its people. Our laws that protect national defense information are critical to the safety and security of the United States, and they must be enforced. Violations of those laws put our country at risk. Adherence to the rule of law is a bedrock principle of the Department of Justice, and our nation's commitment to the rule of law sets an example.
That's fucking hilarious.
We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
The one set of laws?
Applying those laws, collecting facts, that's what determines the outcome.
No, the
of an
equal
investigation.
application of the rule of law.
Nothing more and nothing less. The prosecutors in my office are among the most talented and experienced in the Department of Justice. They have investigated this case hewing to the highest ethical standards, and they will continue to do so as this case proceeds. It's very important for me to note that the defendants in this case must be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. To that end, my office will seek a speedy trial in this matter, consistent with the public interest and the rights of the accused. We very much look forward to presenting our case to a jury of citizens in the Southern District of Florida.
Okay. So, it's hilarious that because you don't think that they apply them evenly?
Nope. Scroll down, like one page from that that tweet.
On the Twitter?
Yeah.
This is the replies.
Hey,
Hey, funny man. Great.
another person that mishandled classified information.
Yes, she did.
Incredible.
But she did
I
it
bet.
while she was still part of the government, and then afterward she got investigated, and they found that they couldn't charge her with a crime, which is the investigation that this guy does. This guy has investigated Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is indictable. He has, and I'm literally going to tell you, he did so much worse than Hillary. Donald Trump has taken the things out of the White House after he's left. All of Hillary's horseshit, all of her email servers happened while she was employed by the government as the Secretary of State, and then they found the problem while she was still the Secretary of State, and then they took care of it. Yes, she covered it up a little bit. She found out they were doing something wrong. Somebody said, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing this," and then she deleted the stuff and got rid of it.
Yeah. She wiped her servers with bleach.
She wiped her servers with bleach. She got a rag and she rubbed the acid bleach all over. She acid washed her servers, which is covering up a mistake. And you can be upset with her.
Crime.
I'm upset with her for covering up a mistake.
For
covering up a mistake.
She, did
she
that
made a
after
mistake.
The investigation started.
She
She
I think
the investigation same way as Trump did.
I don't think. Nah, I don't think so. Regardless, moving forward. I mean, so okay, great. She made a mistake. She covered it up. You're suggesting that she did it illegally. I'm suggesting she did it conspiratorially, maybe a little shady.
Also illegal.
And then they investigated it and found no crimes.
Yeah.
Donald Junebug Trump
actually they did find
is so
crimes,
much fucking worse.
Actually,
So
they
much
did
worse.
find crimes. The thing is, they didn't find that she intended to commit a crime, so it was okay.
No, they said we're
Yeah.
not going to prosecute her on this. Great. Hey, she made a mistake. That's not intentionally committing a crime. We're not going to prosecute. That's the bottom line. She made a mistake. She didn't intend to commit a crime. We're not going to prosecute it as a crime. That's it. That's the bottom line of that whole thing. You can be upset with them. You can say, hey, the FBI wasn't doing a very good fucking job, but they did an exhaustive investigation, and she suffered for it. Donald fucking Trump is so much fucking worse. He's so much worse. He intentionally, willingly, knowingly took those things out because he wanted to. And then when they asked nicely to have them back, hey, you shouldn't have taken these, can we have them back? He said no. He kept them. And then he was given a court order to return them, and he still refused, intentionally and willingly.
I don't know if I know about all that narrative.
Unmistakably taken out. The important thing, I think, here is willfully defying Justice Department demands to return the documents. He's intentionally doing this, willingly, knowingly.
Well, that's what he's accused of, right?
Yeah, and that's what all the evidence suggests. That's why they're able to prosecute him where they weren't able to prosecute Hillary. Everything he does is so much worse, and I have to keep defending Hillary for the rest of forever. I don't want to, but I have to.
Why can't you just be consistent and say that
Hillary made a
what Hillary
mistake?
did was bad and what Trump did
I've
was
been
bad?
entirely consistent. She made a mistake. She tried to cover it up. They did an investigation, and they chose not to do a criminal indictment on her. They chose not to.
Yeah,
Donald Trump
I think
has
it's interesting
not
that
made a
there's
mistake. He has made an intentional, willing choice to take those things out. They have done an investigation, and they have decided that he needs to be indicted. This is the system working properly.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Because he's on your team.
Oh no,
I'm in a grumpy mood today. I
I
apologize.
just want both. I would like them both to receive the equal treatment there.
They have. They
They have
literally
not.
have. They absolutely, literally equal treatment. Absolutely have. She got investigated. They chose not to prosecute. He got investigated. They found lots of damning evidence. They're prosecuting.
I
Same
mean,
treatment.
you have to be kidding me
Same
with
treatment.
this idea. Like, oh, she didn't know she was committing a crime, right? I mean, she's been in government for 40 years,
And
right?
she asked somebody to set up a freaking email server for her.
Uh-huh. Which transferred classified information over an unclassified server,
Yes.
which
Did she do that?
got hacked by foreign entities.
Did it?
Yeah, that's how the WikiLeaks thing happened from her private server.
Okay.
It did get hacked. It did get leaked. And
Okay.
classified documents are out there now as a result of the creation of her server. She did commit a crime. And I think being in government for 40 years, or however long, 30, 40 years, I mean, she has to have at some point had some kind of training on the handling of classified documents. I'll say this for Trump. He probably has never had that training until he became president.
You think she does that stuff on her own? She can barely work a fucking iPhone. She told somebody to go do a thing, and then she delegated it down to somebody, and somebody did it, and then she's fucking covering it up. I agree. She's covering it up, and that's bad, and I'm not happy with her for trying to cover it up. When she found the problem, she should have said, hey, you guys, here's the problem. Oops, we did an oopsie. Here's how it went down. But
Is covering
instead,
it up
she's covering it up.
an obstruction of a federal investigation?
A little bit, yeah.
Not a lot of it.
Not a lot of it, no. A little bit,
No, I
yes.
said not a little bit. I meant to
Okay.
say not a little bit, a lot of it.
Okay. And did she
Yes,
get investigated?
if you get
Yes.
told you have to preserve the data on a particular piece of equipment, and then you go and delete all that data, You have obstructed a federal investigation.
I'm not entirely on board with the timeline you're setting there. I think that they
She was
deleted a whole
told
bunch of that
that
stuff and then got told, hey, you shouldn't have deleted that. Where is it? I don't think that they intentionally, willingly said, got a court order that said, give us this information, and then they deleted it. I think they deleted it, assuming that a court order was coming at worst.
if if they knew that the court order was coming because there was potentially a warrant being routed for it, the investigation had already started. And then deleting that is still obstruction of a federal investigation. If you knew that you were about to be investigated for it and then you went and deleted it, you obstructed it.
Yes, at worst. That's what they did.
So they obstructed a federal investigation by wiping
At
the servers.
worst. At
And
best, they
there are
deleted the things
technologies.
that, at best, they deleted it because they didn't want anybody else to hack it, and then they found out about the investigation. At which case, you try to recover that stuff.
Which you can't if you use the right things. If you use bleach bit, which I'm pretty sure she did, if I recall correctly.
Great. You know what we're doing right now, you and me? We're investigating. Guess who already got investigated? Hillary fucking Clinton. She got investigated.
The
This
reason that she
is
wasn't
happening.
charged is because she was a candidate in a presidential election.
Horseshit. Horseshit. She didn't get charged because they were not going to be able to prosecute her to a proper degree. She would have gotten found not guilty, and they would have wasted fucking time and money. And they knew that. Prosecutors know to an extent how that shit's going to go. And if they don't have enough evidence to stand up in court, they don't prosecute. This is a choice that prosecutors have been making forever, and it's part of the system. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
If only we had some organization that could have investigated all these things and come to a conclusion. You just don't like their conclusion. They did an investigation. They came to a head. They came to a conclusion, and you don't agree with it. You don't like it because you don't
Yeah,
like
I also
Hillary.
don't trust them.
Because you don't like Hillary. If they'd come to the other conclusion, you'd be great and awesome. You just don't like her.
No, I think that the state apparatus tends to have a greater interest in investigating and filing crimes against people that they don't like. And they like Hillary and they don't like Trump.
So that's why he's being prosecuted for the blatant, obvious, intentional, willing crimes that he's committed?
Oh no, I think that he should be prosecuted for it. I also think that Hillary should have been prosecuted for her crime. And to go a step further, they seized a laptop from somebody, not Hunter Biden, from Anthony Weiner,
Mm-hmm.
which
I remember him.
at least
That was
some
part
leaked
of the
reports,
investigation.
at least some leaked reports say that he had blackmail material on people. What?
Okay. What the hell has that got to do with any damn thing?
Well, where are the investigations on whatever he had on that laptop?
Either they're ongoing or they couldn't find enough to prosecute anybody. You're being very conspiratorial right now.
Of course I am. It's we're talking about things that we get news about going in and then never hear about again.
Because there's nothing else to talk about. Great. Anthony Weiner's laptop got picked up in an investigation into Hillary Clinton. So there was an investigation done. And when that investigation concluded, the facts aren't damning enough for the FBI to prosecute her. So they don't. That's just how shit works, man. That means that the investigation into Trump has enough damning information for them to prosecute him. He has done worse. I'm on the Truth Social. Bill Clinton took home classified docs. Bush took home classified docs. Obama took home classified docs. Pence took home classified docs. Hillary Clinton had classified docs on her email server. Biden had classified docs in his garage. Trump's the only one that gets indicted. Is this the point you're trying to make?
In part. I guess what you're going to say is the difference is that he took them after he wasn't president anymore.
Right. If they did find some documents in an old Joe Biden office that he had when he was the vice president,
And in his garage.
and in his garage. I didn't hear about the garage, but whatever. Uh, great. These things are accidents. It happens. It happens to all of them. It happens to everybody. It's happened to Trump. Accidentally. Okay? Accidentally leaving them in the office. And then when someone asks for it, you're like, oh, I'll look around. Hey, here they are. I found them. Here you go. That's not a problem. Trump has literally lied and ignored court documents requesting them to come back. They put out a subpoena. Give us this document. He didn't, even though he still had it. He is a criminal. He's doing a crime. And he's not doing it because he accidentally left something behind. He's doing it intentionally and willingly because he's a bad guy. He's using them as stage props. I mentioned this last week, but he's using them as stage props. He's using them to win arguments. I can use. Look, I have props back here. Look. That I'm a Star Wars nerd. Look, this is a really good prop describing how smart and intelligent I am at Star Wars. That's what he's doing with these things. He's using them as stage props to win arguments. He's using them as a stage props. He wants people to know how important and intelligent he is, so he's got these classified documents and he's using them to win arguments. He's a debate bro, just like you and me. Donald Trump,
Say so.
debate bro. From the testimony from his lawyers, I don't want anyone looking through my boxes. If we just told them we don't have anything here. So he gets a subpoena, and he's like, tell them we don't have it. Because he's a liar. He's crooked. He's so much worse than Hillary.
That's not what that sentence says.
I don't want anybody looking through my boxes. One of Trump's lawyers described the former president saying, according to the indictment, he also asked if it would be better if we just told them we don't have anything here.
Do you see that part where he asks if it would be better? That is not saying just tell them we don't have anything here. He asks, would it be better if we just told them that? I bet you the lawyer was like, fuck, no, it's not. It wouldn't be.
That's the that's the logical fallacy of won't someone rid me of this troublesome priest? The king looks up to the sky and says, God, why won't you get rid of that priest who's ruining my kingdom? And then one of his guards walks out and kills the priest. Did the king order the death of that priest? Not really. He didn't look at a guard and say, go kill that guy.
Not technically.
He
no.
looked up and he's like, oh, won't somebody just fix this problem for me? And then one of his lackeys goes out and fixes the problem. That's what he's doing. That's a very common mob tactic, where you don't tell people to do things. You just kind of vaguely ask a question, and then one of your guys does it. That's a mob tactic that they use a lot, because Donald Trump is organized crime.
I mean, I could see myself asking that question, but not doing it as an order.
Right, but you don't have people waiting on you hand and foot the way a mob boss or Donald Trump or a king does.
What if we just told them we don't have anything?
What if?
What would they
yeah.
do? Like, what if?
He gets a subpoena.
And the lawyer's like, dude, that's a bad idea.
Yeah. What if we just told him we don't have them?
Probably shouldn't do that. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now the question is, did they end up turning around and actually telling them they don't have them?
Well, they didn't give them back when the court told them to. The court told them to,
doesn't say,
and they didn't give them back.
That's actually what was said. This is a quote from a lawyer of him asking, like, what if we did that?
Was there and the lawyer, a judge is going to have to parse that out and determine. An investigative committee would have to find out if this is an actual criminal thing to do. A subpoena said, the court says, give us these documents, and they didn't. And then a raid happens, and he's got them. That's either intentional, because he didn't want to give them back, or it's accidental, because he didn't know he had them, and they were locked in a drawer somewhere, and he didn't give them back by an accident. So that's going to be part of his defense. But if his defense is shot in the ass because he's waving them around and pointing them at people and talking about him having them, then it's not an accident. If he's discussing them, if he's talking about them, if he's using them as a stage prop the way I suggested, then he can't say, oh, I didn't know I had them. Oh, hi. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button, press the subscribe button. If you want to tell me how right I am, feel free to leave a comment. If you want to tell me how wrong I am, leave a comment too. That's good. This is just kind of a hobby for me, so I appreciate you coming by, giving it a watch, and pressing the YouTube buttons. Thanks.